And you guys see me, I'm a little short, so. You notice Sheriff Watts is the youngest sheriff. Who follows him? The oldest sheriff. And very good job, by the way, and Sheriff Lamb as well. And all the other speakers were outstanding, absolutely outstanding. And spot on, by the way, in regards to our Constitution. But I want to thank Sheriff Mack, who I consider a true leader and a very professional sheriff on constitutional law. And thanks to him and his helpers, we're able to be here today, and this is what freedom's all about. Well, I've been around a while. July, I went over 50 years in law enforcement. That's half a century, for Christ's sake. And seen a lot of changes in law enforcement over the last 50 years. And unfortunately, some of those changes not so good. One thing I did learn during that 50 years, and more recently as sheriff, because this is my second term, going on my second year, a 4-year term. By the time I finish this term, I'll be going on, well, I'll be at 77, going on 78. Be an old guy. So that gives me some advantage. And I really don't give a hell what my governor has to say. Washington State shoved, well, got a bunch of people drinking the Kool-Aid, and they shoved I-1639, anti-gun law, and passed it in our state. I was the first sheriff to stand up and tell the governor what he could do with it. We would not enforce it. No way would we enforce it. It restricted people until they're 21 in order to buy a semi-automatic rifle. Now think about that. We can send young men and women into combat under 21. If they make it home, they cannot even buy a 10-22 rifle because it's an assault weapon. That's the liberals naming assault weapons. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. So I flat told them I would not enforce that. In addition to that law, if you got your home broken into or entered your home and stole your gun, you might not even realize that for a week, 2 weeks, depending on where you keep your firearm and how much damage they did to get into your home. And if that bad guy went out and used that weapon in a crime, you, the homeowner, could be charged with a felony. Can you believe that? All of a sudden, you're the bad guy. You're getting charged with a felony. That's how crazy our legislature and our governor is. And Rob Ferguson, that little weasel, is our Attorney General. And he brags about how many times he sued our greatest president to come along, Trump. He brags about it. Number of suits he's filed against the president. But being in Washington State, we have some loonies there. Seattle's a prime example of it. Constant rioting and so forth. We got the governor and we got the mayor who supports terrorism. Black Lives Matter, Antifa are terrorist organizations. I've made it very clear in our community, we've had 4 Black Lives Matter protests. And I made it very clear to those folks that we're there to protect their First Amendment, and we are, as long as they're peaceful. The first time they step out of line, they're going to my gated community called a jail. I have a posse. Some people might think it's a militia. Some people might, because militia, people get scared over that word. Really, that's what the Second Amendment's all about, isn't it? It's a militia. We, the people, have a right to bear arms and to protect our home, protect our county, and protect our citizens, and protect us from what? Government overreach. That's why you need to have firearms. I have a posse after I got elected sheriff. I created this posse. We're up to 150 members right now. We're going higher. We're going to go 250. That posse is sworn in. A background check is conducted on them. They're sworn into office by me. They wear a black Western shirt, patch, just like this, with a rocker over it that says posse. Blue jeans and the uniform shirt. On their vehicles, their private vehicles, is a magnetic placard. It says, Klickitat County Sheriff's Posse Patrol with a star. You all know what Neighborhood Crime Watch is all about, right? That's a county-wide neighborhood crime watch. I refer to it as my community policing efforts, because it's good citizens working with their sheriff's office to provide a safer community. You don't get any more American than that. In addition, I am so proud of the citizens in our county, except for the bad guys we throw in jail, but I am so proud of the average citizen in our county. Volunteerism is outstanding. Of that 150, I have 6 pilots that fly for us at no cost to the citizens. None. Not for fuel, not for anything. They fly for us to look for bad guys, fire spotting in the fire season. They're up there looking for smoke, and outdoor marijuana grows, even though it's legal in the state of Washington. But some of those folks fail to do the proper thing, and they think they can just grow it. We just took down 3 houses, all Orientals, 8,000 plants, the houses they bought to grow marijuana in. $314,000 in cash and a money counter. So I think those folks got some problems. And they just bailed out, cash bail on all of them. We probably won't see them appear in court, I'm sure. But anyway, the reason I mentioned the posse, when I had these, oh, and by the way, the posse does not have arrest authority. They're trained every month in a meeting, now by Zoom, but every month in a meeting, we go over the Constitution, we go over Fourth Amendment, Fifth Amendment, Second Amendment, the Constitution, and we go into details on that. I think that's very important that those people have that. Because I am a big Second Amendment individual, they're allowed to carry firearms in uniform after they've qualified with an NRA instructor for liability reasons. I think it was Sheriff Jenkins mentioned liability, but he's absolutely spot on. Hell, if we worry about liability, we wouldn't crawl in that patrol car. There'd be no sense in it. We can't run from liability. It's always going to be there. We just got to face it and do the best we can to minimize liability. But having created this posse, I told these posse members at the protest deal, I said, make sure they're not harassed, that they're able to do their peaceful demonstration. But if they get out of line, you have arrest authority under my badge. And they will make their arrest. And whatever the fallout is, it's going to fall out. But because of that, I immediately had the resources to do the job. We're a county of 19 sworn deputies. That includes me. We have 10 reserve deputies, gone through the academy, and they have arrest authority when they're working. That's the total arrest authority we have in that county. So my posse could very well be assistance in making arrests if we have a problem created. If Antifa, Black Lives Matter, which is terrorist organizations, show up in our county and they think they're going to throw rocks and burn buildings, I've got fire trucks lined up with high pressure water hoses, and I'll knock them right off their feet. In fact, I had a couple of firemen. They were upset because nothing happened. They wanted to see some action, but it didn't happen. They were peaceful. But Antifa and Black Lives Matter, with all their rioting in Portland, is 2 hours from us. Seattle, with all the nonsense going up there, the rioting and the liberal jelly spine, the politicians that support that activity, they're 3 hours from us. Is it a possibility they could end up in our county? Absolutely. We've had 4 Black Lives Matter protests already. Fortunately, they turned out to be peaceful. But that don't mean the next time they will. So I am prepared. You can call it a posse. You can call it a militia. And by the way, I've had numerous citizens call me. Said, Sheriff, I got your 6 o'clock. If you need help, I'll be there. There is no doubt in my mind, that if I put a call out, I could have anywhere 600-700 people, and I'd raise their hands, swear them in, and let's go to keep our county safe. Anyway, I see I'm running out of time here. Apologize for that, but I proudly consider myself constitutional sheriff, and I encourage those of you who are not constitutional sheriffs, please become one. We all need to be together on this, whether it's in Washington, Nevada, Maine, wherever it is. We all need to be constitutional sheriffs. And our citizens come first. Bad guys are one of our jobs we throw in jail, but our primary job is to protect the citizens' liberty and God-given constitutional rights in our county, the people that elected us. Thank you very much. Have a great day.